Ublaloatag, Kanuik Pizzy. Today is Wednesday. What day? All day today. Let's be responsible. Always try. Do our best. Cooperate with others. And let's treat everyone with respect, including ourselves. Have you ever heard of the CDC? Well, the CDC is a bunch of scientists that make lots of decisions to try to keep people safe from diseases and illnesses and all kinds of things. The CDC is who has made recommendations about wearing masks. And guess what? They've changed their mind about some of the things about wearing masks. So we're going to take a look at what this means. Here's a picture of the main CDC building. The CDC is actually a part of the Department of Health and Human Services. And if you look carefully here under where it says CDC, you'll see it says Center for Disease Control and Prevention. It's in Atlanta, Georgia. You might have seen some scientists from the CDC speaking on television sometimes when your parents were watching the news. Some people don't always like what they have to say, but these folks have really studied the virus, and they've studied how the virus interacts with humans, and they try to make the best decisions they can to keep as many people as possible safe. The CDC is changing the masking guidelines because coronavirus is different in different parts of the country, and some places are safer and some places are more dangerous in terms of how many people are catching COVID. If you look here, you can see that these areas right here are green. These are the safest areas. The yellow areas are medium. Hey, there's Alaska, medium. And the orange areas are where there's a high danger. The new CDC guidelines tell us what we need to do to keep ourselves safe in these different locations. So you might be wondering what is happening in terms of our community. And hey, we can look it up right here. Look, we look up the state and the county. Let's do that. Our state is Alaska. Well, look at this. Our risk level is medium. Here it says, in the Nome census area of Alaska, the community level is medium. So let's see what that means. First of all, if you are at high risk for severe illness, you need to talk to your healthcare provider about whether you need to wear a mask or take other precautions. Makes sense? It's also very important to stay up to date with COVID vaccines. Yeah, that makes sense. It's also okay to get tested if you have symptoms. Ooh, that's not okay. That's very important. If you get symptoms, we need to get tested. So, what about wearing a mask? People in our area may choose to wear a mask at any time. People with symptoms, a positive test, or any exposure to someone with COVID-19 should wear a mask. That would be all the time. If you had some symptoms, if you had a positive test, or if you had exposure to someone with COVID-19, you should wear a mask. In fact, if you've had exposure to someone with COVID-19, you need to wear a mask. Does anybody remember how many days? It's 5 days. And if you have a positive test, remember you are isolating for 5 days plus wearing a mask for 5 days. So you might be wondering, what if you're at high risk? Let's look at the guidelines here for high risk. When the area around you is a high risk area, you need to wear a mask indoors in public. Stay up to date with your vaccines, get tested, and take additional precautions if you're high risk for severe illness. So this is a big difference here, wearing a mask indoors. That means we could change to high at any time and have to wear masks indoors. Now, you might be thinking and remembering that there are times when we have to wear a mask at the store. There are times when the city tells us we have to wear a mask inside of any building, and we've been masking a lot at school all the time as we work hard to keep everyone safe. It sounds like things are getting a little more relaxed, and yes, that's true, they are. So we're trying to figure out at our school how we should adjust to the new CDC guidelines to meet the maximum wishes of everybody and keep you all as safe as possible. The first thing that we decided to do here at school was get some information. So we want to know what you think. Today is a great day to have a short discussion with your teachers about wearing masks. And some of your older students can even go to our survey. At our survey, you're going to be asked what are your preferences about who wears a mask in school. And you can check as many of these boxes as you want and consider what would keep people safe and what your preferences are. This is going to be interesting. For you younger students, please talk with your teacher, and your teacher can submit a survey for your whole class. Everyone's opinion and thoughts are important as our school makes decisions about the best way to keep everyone safe and to deal with the new relaxed guidelines. We don't have any choice about dealing with COVID, and things have changed as scientists have gotten more and more information. So we need to adjust to some of the new things that we know. It's always a challenge to change. So our goal is to get a lot of information from different people, use the CDC guidelines, and make some new decisions for the school. So if you can, please fill out the survey or talk to your teacher and tell your teacher what to think. It's also okay if you ask your teacher lots of questions. Have a wonderful Wednesday.